Pardon me. Hello. 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 What am I doing? I am presently trying to determine what am I trying to determine a number of things going on for me right now. And one of those things recently has been a number of signs regarding gateways, and this has been spiritual gateways, like portals, that kind of thing, right? And it's been ongoing for quite a few months now, possibly even a year or more, but I've not really known how to go or what to do about it. And then the last few days, my research has kind of come back around to this subject, and mainly because I've been having a number of visual distortions around me at home. And I'm not so much when I'm outside, because there's obviously a lot of things going on to distract you, but at home I can look around and I'm seeing things out the corner of my eye, and directly in front of me, in fact, and there's a number of telltale signs when you can tell if there's a spiritual presence around you. I've been, so I'm just going to regurgitate a little bit about the research I've been looking at. And so one of the things ways to realize that you're receiving or in the presence of spirits or other beings is spots in your eyes, either in front of you or in the peripheral vision, white sparkly lights, and the heat wave effect, where there's like a wavy effect happening in the air, where it looks like something's moving or there's some kind of displacement or distortion there. And I've been seeing that a lot too. So I'm at that point where something's happening, something's going on energetically. And the other news for me recently, which links in with this, is I'm getting a brand new full spectrum ghost camera. So this camera will be able to look at things from both in the ultraviolet and the infrared, and I'm going to be trying to incorporate that into cloud therapy. So the project is now evolving further. It's always kind of been in a state of evolution from day one. So hopefully when I get this camera through, we can do some experiments with it. I'm quite eager to see if I will capture anything in the sky, but also I'll probably start looking around me as well in other places and such. So and I have a very special friend to thank for that. His name is Willie, one of the people that I've met through my journey over the last 3 or 4 years, and he's been a rock, one of my best mates, and we talk and hang out with each other very regularly, and I'm just very, very grateful and appreciative of his friendship and his belief in me and my project and the things I'm doing. So I just kind of wanted to announce all of that. The funny thing is, I think this spiritual activity has actually increased, and I've never had so many visual distortions happen to me on a daily basis this often. It's a very new thing, but not very new. It's new insofar as the increase in activity. I didn't used to have this amount of visual distortions happening as regularly as they are. I would notice it now and again, every so often, but very recently it's now increased to the point where it's every day, multiple times throughout the day. And I think understanding this reality is not linear. Time is not linear. I believe that in anticipation of this camera arriving, ahead of the game, I believe that the spirits or whatever energies are around at the moment are aware. Oh, it's 9:11 a.m. I believe that these things are aware in a kind of non-linear way. In a, what's that film, Interstellar? You know, when he goes into dimensions and pushes the book, that kind of thing. I think it's very similar in that regard. Non-linear time. These beings are aware that I am due to have this equipment at some point, perhaps, and probably a gathering here, maybe, to be seen. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think that's what's happening. My intuition is telling me that that's the case. And so, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting few days. So I'm just experimenting with the picture at the moment as well. It's going to be an interesting few days. Anyway, I think this whole gatekeeping stuff, this spiritual gatekeeper, I've been looking into the concept of a spiritual gatekeeper. So this is where they're just another kind of type of spirit guide, and so you can call them in to help support you in dealing with, working with spirits, with working with gateways and portals and stuff like that. We ourselves, I believe, are portals anyway, portals of light, and we perhaps even attract these things to us because we're meant to help them or guide them in some way, I don't know, or maybe they're even meant to guide or help us, so who knows. I'm looking at it in a very positive way. I haven't had any negative experiences that I would attribute as a negative spiritual experience. I'm kind of excited, actually. It's an interesting thing. I feel like this is something I've been meant to do for a long time, and as traffic there, as my intuition and abilities are improving and gaining in strength and skill, I believe that I'm in some kind of training situation, whether subconsciously or consciously, in my dreams and in my waking world at the moment, through all these different tests and trials that we're going through on a daily basis. And it has been a bit of a trial recently for me of a number of interpersonal and social situations that have, online as well mainly, that have been challenging to me, almost like it's building up some kind of resilience, or I'm supposed to step into my power somehow and defend myself, and actually, say, no, I'm not going to take that shit from you. I've got to take that into myself and actually say, cut off some of those toxic elements. And that is just a matter of me defending myself and taking action, making a decision and sticking with it. And this year seems to have been very much about purging a lot of stuff. That's people, places, situations, relationships, things that no longer serve me, or ultimately, for all the good they may offer, the negatives began to outweigh the positives. And so, I had to step away from a number of people this year, and it's nothing personal. I don't hate them or anything like that, but also at the same time, you recognize that particular individuals are having a not so positive influence or effect upon whenever they interact with you. You have to kind of question whether it's a good way, a good thing to continue doing for the time being, or maybe you need space or time away from each other to try and focus on your own healing and process. And I'm aware that everybody I know is in a state, everybody I've known and I've met through this entire process over the last few years is in a state of purging and healing, and it goes on and on and on, and I don't think it really ever stops, and it can be quite a painful experience, and that's just going through this whole whatever it is that we're all going through at the moment. Not to mention any other spiritual activities or commitments you've made in your own process as well. So all of that together can be quite an intense experience. Now I'm seeing spirits, or at least seeing potential visual disturbances which have been attributed or can be attributed to spiritual or spirit activity. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, and I thought I'd just make this a little announcement about where I'm at the moment, and the project of cloud therapy, this ongoing 3-year project, has where it's going next. And I can't thank my friends, the friends that have supported me, and all the guys in Tartary, Willie, and a few other friends as well that I've known over the years through this experience. Mel, Michelle. I'm going to try and... to be honest, I feel bad even trying to think of names, because then if I think of some names and not others, then I could be accused of deliberately missing them out. And so there have been so many people, good and bad. It doesn't matter, that they've all been in my life, and I am grateful and thankful to every single one of them for all the lessons and situations I've been in that have taught me a lot of stuff. So there's still a lot of love here for all of these people, one way or another. But I've had to learn to love myself, and sometimes that means having to make very difficult decisions about people you love, because you need to put yourself first, self-care first, And the crows agree with me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So watch this space, and hopefully we'll start having some more interesting stuff to look at, and combined with all of the things that I've set up already for cloud therapy and using this new technology, I'm extremely excited to see what kind of stuff that I'm going to pick up. So yeah, fingers crossed everything will be interesting. And so a lot of love and a lot of good wishes, positive thoughts and kind energy. Kundalini Reiki hugs to all of my friends and associates and supporters and all of that lot, and the viewers, the very few that are there. This has never been about accruing a viewership or a massive audience. This has always been about the work, the projects, the things that I'm going through, and the stuff that I'm learning from all of this. So anyway, thank you, and I will continue to stream this, and I'll be issuing this little statement thing as a little video as well on its own. Thank you.